Welcome back, everybody, to our challenge podcast. We'll be talking about the season that just won't end. Actually, we probably won't be talking much about that. But we'll be talking all stars mostly in this little podcast. But first, I guess, if you have any comments on double agents, we could just start there for a couple minutes.
I didn't even take any notes on the episode, to be fair. Um, I mean, there's a couple things we could discuss. Casey completely ruining her knee. Um, by the looks of it, when she was walking, it looks like it might have been an MCL or ACL tear because when she put pressure on it, her whole knee just wobbled out, which sucks because I know that's painful. Um, Second of all, I think it's time that everybody rallies together and boycotts Fessy ever being on the challenge again. Um, because him not eating when this girl just demolished her knee and even got to that checkpoint, he like Leroy said, he's a fucking pussy.
It's
Like
true.
seriously, what? Just go away forever. Don't ever come back.
I don't think
I'm
we're going
over.
to get that wish, unfortunately. I feel
Yeah.
like he's going to be on the next season.
um, and then props to Amber, man. I was not expecting the performance we've seen so far. She's balling out. I mean, she's outrunning CT,
Yeah.
putting that effort, not only in that first checkpoint, but also the eating challenge. And then the complete montages of the vomiting, I just laughed my ass off. Even Corey pointed out, just like put them up here and watch. Um, I have a feeling CT and Amber are going to win. I don't think there's any coming back from it. Leroy is going to be disappointed, but shit happens. I wouldn't mind seeing CT win. He's a boss. So other than that, what are we on? Episode 18 now. Apparently we've still got like 5 more episodes to go.
It seems like it, for fuck's sake. Yeah, my biggest takeaway was also Fessy being a bitch, and I mean, I shit on Casey because she is boring, and I feel like the challenge is starting to cater to boring players. But I gained respect for her for the first time, I guess, for actually still completing shit while Fessy's being a bitch.
Yeah. And there's something I want to point out because I saw it in the All Stars episode, and it looks like this is going to be a continuing theme for the rest of the season. In that the challenges, the dailies involve challenge history,
Mm-hmm.
and they used to do that all the time, and they no longer do that in the latest challenge seasons. So I hope they keep that up. It brings an extra element to the dailies where it's not just these physical competitions, but actual trivia based knowledge from the challenge.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see that continuing.
I agree. I guess just to sum up Double Agents, I mean, for me, I've always found the final episodes mostly boring, really, because I mean, it's just
I
one
agree.
long big challenge. And if I wanted to watch that, I'd watch The Amazing Race, which I don't watch. So yeah,
To be fair though, like the finals have gotten ridiculously difficult, like
yeah,
absurdly
but it's still not
difficult.
something that like interests me, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. My favorite part of the seasons are the daily competitions and the eliminations. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what All Stars has in store for their finale and how they do that.
Let's move on to All Stars. We can start with the whole relationship or whatever we're gonna call it between Nehemiah and Jemmy.
Oh my God, Nehemiah, do better. What are you thinking?
I mean,
I'm
maybe
like,
he's just working his political game.
I mean, I'm wondering if they actually. I don't know. I don't know what to make of the whole thing. Jimmy is definitely. It's just weird. Like, yes, Jimmy knows the political game because she's been through all these different challenges, but she's also a shit stirrer and full of drama. She's like a mini Beth, and I'm not sure if that's necessarily who you want to align yourself with. Um, But politicking is a part of the game, or at least that is in the regular challenge. It's difficult to do that when everybody's married. Um, so maybe that's his only option to politic.
Seems like it
And
is. I'm pretty
I
sure it
mean,
probably is.
I guess more power to him. I mean, do what you got to do, but Jimmy, really, come on. Ugh.
I mean, she was a big part of this episode though, too, because we get the whole Beth and Jemmy connects, and Beth feels like her mom.
I mean, they're just alike. They really are. It's just a different generation of player, both full of drama, causing chaos, not particularly great at challenges in themselves. But Jimmy's going to do what she's got to do, which is play the political game. And maybe she plays better, not as part as the Lavender Ladies. So let's see what she can do with it.
I mean, I kind of feel like this is a cast where she probably could work some politics.
Yeah,
Maybe at least with the women for sure.
I mean, she's doing her own politicking, which is politicking. So I mean, she's playing. I mean, I'm not going to fault her. It's just an interesting situation because, like I said, everybody is married and all these cliques are already starting to form. So it'll be interesting to see how Jimmy plays her way through this game. I don't know what to make of it. I don't like her, but I know some people do. So don't hate me, Twitter.
I don't dislike her, nor do I like her. I'm just kind of like with her, I guess, for the most part.
I think she's going to do better in this All-Star season just because it is older folks that don't really know the game as well as she might, and she may have some sway over them.
One of the other, I guess, friendships in this episode, we got to see a lot of Tech and Ruthie. They were still naked, like throwback to real world Hawaii. Any thoughts on this friendship?
I love both of them. I love Tech. Dude is funny. Big props to him. Mad respect for doing what he did in this episode. Takes big old balls to do that. Ruthie, I'm sad for Ruthie. She's back. It looks like she's back hard on the sauce, and sauce and paranoia just don't go well together. And you're already starting to see it play out in the episodes. I don't see her lasting much longer, especially with Tech being gone. It's hard to watch. Just from somebody who battles that same issue, it's hard to watch that on screen, knowing what she's probably having to deal with.
Yeah, I like Ruthie. I guess we'll get into more of that later. Does anything else happen before the challenge? I think that was kind of the main points before the actual daily.
I thought at the very beginning, Jaleesa was talking about Kendall, how Kendall is like a Komodo dragon and will take a bite and then follow you, won't directly attack. I do think that's interesting because it means Jaleesa she has a good eye. And I can see Kendall doing that. We already saw Kendall, playing some head games with folks in this episode with the lifesaver. So Kendall's going to have to watch her back, because Jaleesa, I mean, yeah, she's an older woman, but that girl has fight. She's going to be hard to beat. And I have a feeling she has a super undercover political game. So she's going to be somebody to watch out for. It'd be interesting to see if this starts a storyline between Kendall and Jaleesa going forward, like some type of headbutting competition between them.
I could see it because Jaleesa is kind of like, I don't know how to describe her, almost Meg-like, honestly, in a way, in that she has an eye for things, and I guess I don't know if she is actually building something, but it seems like she is.
And she's super social too. Like I would love to hang around with her just because, like when they were sitting in the room and I think it was LT, Tech, her and Anissa were talking about roommates, and Jaleesa was saying that my ass is purple, like it got beat up, but not in the good way. Just I love her personality. And I have a feeling she has good relationships with everybody in the house. She's going to be a strong influence in this house going forward.
Well, the daily was the melt away that we talked about several podcasts ago. Looking forward to this. I wrote down the teams. Let's see. Copper was Big Easy, Jaleesa, Nehemiah, Katie. Gold was Mark, Alton, Beth, Jemmy. Black was Janae, Anissa, Derek, LT. Silver was Cyrus, Darrell, Kellyanne, and Kendall. And then gray was Tech, Ruthie, Arissa, and Yes.
I mean, all these teams, I mean, they're evened out pretty well. There wasn't really any strong suits to any team. At first, I thought that maybe weight would help. The more you can stack on that block of ice, the more you might melt away. But again, they're in Argentina, up in the mountains. It's cold. That shit's not going to melt, which we saw during the challenge. So I don't think anybody really had that big of an advantage in this challenge. It's just who could do it the fastest, and they needed hammers to do that. So
yeah, I agree because I thought the gray team was going to have some disadvantages because they were all pretty skinny.
yeah. I mean, shit, you got to use everything you have. Darrell's sitting there pissing on the ice block, doing whatever you have to do. So,
And that was a lot.
Just whipped it out and started peeing all over the block of ice.
Yeah. What else did I know about this challenge? They also had to do the whole thing you were talking about again, about like the whole putting the seasons in order.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see that back because again, it's not just a physical elimination. I mean, this is the challenge. I think that's something I loved about the challenge in the past is that they had to know their challenge history. I like that. And I hope that's a continuing theme going forward because you don't just want to, melt a block of ice and just add something to it. I like that part of it.
We also have Arissa. She continues to get the whole hippie spiritual edit where she's trying to part the clouds, which didn't quite work out.
Yeah, she's an interesting character. I don't remember her from earlier seasons all that well, but she's definitely getting the hippie edit. I don't know how well that's going to work for her. And she doesn't seem to have that many connections in the house other than Ruthie. So, I mean, she's going to find herself in elimination sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I kind of remember her from Real World, but not the challenge. I don't remember her from the challenge at all. Well, in the end, Nehemiah's team, Copper team, gets last. Silver wins, but only because Gold broke two of their things, which was 5-minute penalty. So they had 10 minutes. Mark Long was celebrating a little too early.
Yeah, I think they knew too. I think the editing played it out a little longer. I think the Silver team finished right behind them. Like there was no doubt in my mind that with those two plaques being broken, that Silver team was going to win. So I mean, they played it out a little bit, but I do like that team winning. I love Darrell. I don't know much of Kellyanne, but Kendall, I think, definitely needed that team win because her head's been kind of on the chopping block. So I'm happy to see them win. Glad to see Darrell not go down there. And kind of disappointed to see Nehemiah down in the, what are they calling it now? The crater or just the pit?
Yeah.
Elimination, whatever it is.
So what are your thoughts on Tech talking shit? I mean, I just feel like that's Tech though.
Yeah, it definitely was. I think Nehemiah was correct that it started out as a joke, like them just bantering with each other, but he kept on with it. And we say this in all the games that we play, that you don't want to make a target out of yourself early on and everybody will use the tiniest little thing to throw you into an elimination. And that's exactly what Nehemiah did. He's got the weight advantage over him, the athletic advantage over him. If it is something like a pole wrestle or a hall brawl, Nehemiah wins that every time, I think. But that's not how it ended up. I mean, this elimination was pretty geared towards both of them. I mean, either one of them had a shot going into it.
So how do you feel about how Kendall used her lifesaver to kind of just build paranoia? I don't know if it really worked out to do anything other than build paranoia.
You know the saying, drunk with power? She was literally drunk and with power in this episode. I mean,
Touche.
yes, if she wasn't so loud while doing it, yes, there could have been some gameplay involved with this, but it was so obvious that she had every man in this challenge paranoid that they could possibly go into the elimination, especially Big Izzy. I like it because I like chaos in games. But this early on in the game, it's just putting a bigger target on her head that she already had from the first two episodes. So I don't know if it was necessarily the best thing to do, uh, but it was entertaining to watch.
So Jimmy is the one kind of like trying to make Big Izzy the target, it felt like. Would you agree?
Yeah. Um, and if Big Easy goes into this elimination, he loses. 100%. There's no way first off, he's going to die after eating the peppers. And then second of all, he's not going to be able to climb to the top of the jungle gym to knock out those tiles. But I do get Jimmy's point. She wouldn't want to run a final with him, but I think it's a little too early in the game to start making that type of move. But if you can get Kendall to use that lifesaver, I mean, you're making Kendall a big target and not yourself. So there is a thought process behind it. I just think it's a little too early. But she's playing. I mean, we knew Jimmy was going to come into this challenge playing hard. So props to her for that.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping she would use it, to be honest, because losing tech so early is not really great.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't want to see him go.
Yeah, me either, because it is still early. And I feel like we lost a lot of entertaining people in BB Can, so I'm just like, here we go again. We're going to be stuck with fucking yes at the end.
Yeah.
So the other story was Anissa and Ruthie and their history, and Ruthie being paranoid.
I mean, she has every right to be. I mean, Anissa is a scheming hoe. I mean, she plays hard too, and she's very good at the political game. And I don't know if we saw it, but it did sound like Anissa was talking about Ruthie, and Ruthie walked in on them.
She was
talking shit about her. So, is it paranoia or is it reality? Just again, Ruthie's back on the sauce, and she's going to take that a little further than it needs to go. And it's going to make Ruthie a target because Anissa's going to blow that target up big on Ruthie. Because that's ultimately Anissa would want to go into an elimination with Ruthie if she had to.
I'm so fucking tired of Anissa. I can't deal with it anymore. Like, I feel like I was one of the nicer ones to her on the Double Agents podcast, but like I am tired of Anissa. Period.
Well, I mean, maybe we get the old school Anissa that was always in people's business, always causing drama, starting fights down in the elimination. If we get to see that Anissa, then I'm all for it. But the whiny, complaining, I can't win, stop throwing me into elimination Anissa, I don't want to see that anymore. But if we get to see drama Anissa, I'm okay with it.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I want to see Ruthie beat Anissa and then send her to the retirement home. That's what I'm hoping for. Anything you want to talk about before the elimination?
Before the elimination?
Yeah.
I
feel like that was everything.
I mean, do we really think Nehemiah is hitting that? I just want to clear that up. Do you think he's hitting it?
I don't know. I mean, in the video they showed, it didn't seem like it. It seemed like they were just sleeping in the same bed. But I don't know.
Okay, enough of that.
Well, Kendall did not use her lifesaver, and we get the elimination with Tech and Nehemiah, and we have Peppers before elimination after we talked about Peppers on BB Can last night, Dave.
These were real peppers. This wasn't no jalapeno. These were Carolina Reapers. I've not eaten one of them by themselves, but I've had them in a sauce and just in the sauce, I couldn't stand it. It was unbelievably hot. Um, I think it's an interesting way to start out the challenge. I mean, they possibly could have killed either Tech or Nehemiah. Like those peppers are no joke. The Scoville units in that are, I think, in the tens of millions.
Terrible.
I believe. Um, I feel bad for them. I mean, props to them. They both chewed them down and got it done with. But that whole vomiting thing, that's a real thing. Like you will straight vomit after eating those. It just wrecks your body. I'm surprised they were even able to compete in this challenge after doing that. And
Yeah.
and I think Tech's reaction to TJ was perfect, which was giving him the middle finger
It was perfect.
because that was fucked up. That was actually fucked up to do that to them.
Yeah, I feel like that was just to get TJ on one of his laughing fits, really.
Man, that it was brutal. But maybe that evened out the elimination because it was super close.
It was. Though I do have a question. Like, did you just have to punch a hole in it, or did you have to actually punch it out?
I think you just had to make a dent in it. That's what it looked like because they were just getting one swipe on it. um, Regardless, they did a better job than Josh of knocking out tiles. So, but I think this was more of a speed challenge. That's what it looked like than it was, actually physical. So I think they just had to, put a hand through it, and that was it, and get back to their circle. And it was legitimately like 0.5 seconds, maybe 1 second that, determined who the winner was.
Yeah, I was just asking because there was a point before the end where I feel like they went back to hit a few tiles they already hit, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I did see that. So maybe TJ said, during the challenge to knock them out completely.
Yeah. But it was close. Tech almost got the upset that I was honestly kind of hoping for, to be honest. But he wasn't going to beat Nehemiah, I guess.
I mean, it's tough because I do like both of them. Tech is more entertaining. Um, I don't know if he's necessarily cut out for the type of eliminations that are going to be taking place. Nehemiah has the advantage going forward regardless. So I am interested to see how Nehemiah plays the political game. It looks like that's something that he's going to focus on, and not simply rely on his ability to win challenges. So it'll make for an interesting storyline at least. Going forward. Whereas if Tech was still in the game, it would just be pure entertainment value and not necessarily the political aspect of the game.
Yeah, I'd take entertainment value though. After these several last episodes of the challenge that we've watched.
Yeah, but between Big Brother All Stars and the last challenge, we're really just looking for purely entertainment value in all these shows that we're watching.
I guess that's why BB can't work because it's only entertainment. It's not a whole lot else.
Definitely.
Well, any final thoughts on this episode that we did not touch upon?
Nah, I mean, I'm pleased with what we're seeing. Again, the production value of the entire All Stars has been good. I love the players. And last note I have is that house and that location is absolutely beautiful. I would love for that to be my retirement home because it's gorgeous.
Well, hopefully Anissa will stay there, retired.
Just leave her there. Lock her in the basement until it's done and just leave her there.
Well, a little quick today, but it's good enough. I mean, there's not much to talk about on Double Agents, so I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Me too. I'm enjoying All Stars.
Y'all make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Reddit. You can see us posting on all the subreddits for different shows.
And you can watch the online challenge game, the online battle, Tuesday nights on this YouTube channel.
It's boss right now. Definitely check it out.
It is chaos.
It's crazy.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me. I will see everybody next week.